All right, so you're bringing us a company called Vizsla Silver and a project of theirs called Panuco.
Right.
And this report is saying that this is the best silver development project they've seen.
Yeah.
And with silver as hot as it is right now,
Absolutely.
this sounds like it could be really interesting.
Yeah, it's silver is in such high demand right now that it's one of those things where if you can find the companies that are going to be putting it out of the ground, it's really exciting.
So is this the one?
Well, we'll see. We'll see. It's certainly got a lot of the key factors.
Okay.
That you look for.
What are those key factors?
Well, I mean, first off, you want to look at jurisdiction.
Okay.
And this is in Mexico, and it's in a historic silver mining region of Mexico. So, hundreds of years of mining in this area.
Right.
And so that's always a really good sign.
So you've got the location.
Yep. And so that checks off that box. But what really gets me excited when I look at this
is the economics of this project.
Okay, so let's talk numbers.
Yeah.
What kind of returns are we looking at?
So they're looking at about an 86% internal rate of return.
IRR.
IRR, that's right.
Oh, okay.
Which is exceptional.
That's really high.
It is.
I mean, for people who don't know, what is a good IRR?
Yeah, so most mining projects get really excited if they can get to about a 30% IRR.
Okay.
And so
86
is
it's almost triple.
Yeah, it's almost unheard of, particularly for a project of this size.
Okay.
And so that's what makes this so intriguing, is that not only is it in a great location, it's got great economics.
And it's decent size.
And the CapEx on this is only $224 million.
Okay.
Which, again, in the world of, building mines, it's incredibly cheap.
Right, because a lot of these are $1 billion plus.
Yeah, absolutely.
So to get in at 224...
Yeah, you're usually talking $1 billion plus.
With that high of an IRR.
Yeah.
Is there something we're missing here? Well, I mean, there's always risks in mining, right?
Of course.
But what I like about this is it's not just the economics of it, it's the potential.
Okay, what kind of potential are we talking?
Well, they found a cluster of epithermal veins.
What does that mean?
So, you have these cracks underground, and they're filled with precious metals.
Okay.
And so what they found is a cluster of these.
Okay.
And they've only really drilled off a handful of these veins. And so, the resource estimate that they have right now is based on just what they've drilled off so far.
Okay.
But there's so much more to explore.
So like finding one gold nugget.
Right.
And you realize there's a whole stream bed
of
gold nuggets.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay.
Yeah, so you've got that potential. And then they're also going after these things called blind veins.
What's a blind vein?
So a blind vein is something that's not outcropping to surface.
Okay.
And it's these blind veins that can hold a lot of high-grade silver. And so that's really interesting that they're using, different techniques to go after these blind veins.
So this report is saying that they're really lucky with their drill results.
Yeah, they've had some incredible drill results.
Especially at this Copala vein.
Yeah, and what's interesting about that is that was infill drilling.
What is infill drilling?
So rather than, step out drilling where you're trying to find brand new veins, this is just drilling between existing drill holes.
Got it.
To kind of true up what you have.
Okay.
And even with that infill drilling, they're hitting these incredible grades.
So they're filling in the blanks and they're finding more.
Yeah, they're like, oh, wow, this is a lot better than we thought.
So with more drilling planned,
I
mean, who knows what they could find?
Yeah, that's the beauty of exploration, is that you just never know what you're going to get.
So this all sounds amazing.
It does.
But you need a team to execute on this.
Oh, absolutely. You can have the best project in the world.
Right.
But if you don't have the team to execute on it,
it's worthless.
It's meaningless, yeah.
So could this be like the next big thing?
Well, it reminds me a little bit of Barrick.
Oh, yeah.
Barrick started off with just one project.
Okay.
And it was a really exceptional project.
Okay.
And from that, they were able to scale up and become, the behemoth that they are today.
So this could be Vizsla's?
It could be their stepping stone to becoming a much bigger company. And what's really interesting is, you were talking about the silver market earlier and how strong it is.
Yeah.
During the last precious metals bull market, there were a lot of mergers and acquisitions. So all the big guys were buying up all the little guys.
Right. So there's less companies now.
Exactly. And so what that's done is it's created kind of a vacuum in the market where you've got these massive companies that need a huge project to move the needle.
Right.
And then you have all these little junior miners that can't finance something this big. So Vizsla sits in this really interesting position.
Right in the sweet spot.
Exactly, where they've got this high-quality asset that's big enough to, really make a difference. And so if they can prove this up and get it into production, they're going to be, a prime takeover target for one of these major mining companies.
It's like they're holding all the cards right now.
They are, and you've got the right commodity.
Yeah. Silver's hot.
Silver is absolutely in demand. It's only becoming more in demand.
Yeah, because it's not just a precious metal anymore. It's
an industrial metal.
Yeah, it's essential.
Absolutely.
Wow. So we've talked about the COO a little bit.
Yeah.
Simon and his experience building mines.
Right.
But what about the exploration side?
Right. So that's the other thing that I really like about this company.
Yeah, because the COO can only do so much if they don't actually have the silver in the ground to pull out.
Well, that's where the VP of exploration comes in.
Okay. Who is that?
His name is Jesus Velador.
Oh.
And
is he any good?
Oh, he's more than good.
Okay.
He's got 20 years experience working on epithermal vein systems.
Wow, that's a very specific expertise.
It is, and it's exactly what you want.
Okay.
When you're looking at a company like this, 20 years in this field.
So he must have worked on some pretty impressive projects.
Oh, absolutely. So, he was a manager at Fortuna Silver in Mexico and Peru.
Okay.
He actually took a project from discovery all the way to production at First Majestic.
Wow. So this guy knows what he's doing.
He does. He's got the track record to prove it.
And anything in his background that really relates to what we're seeing at Panuco?
Yeah. So he actually started his career with Penoles down in Mexico. And he was actually instrumental in finding a pretty significant vein at the Juanicipio project.
Okay, and how big of a deal is that?
That's a big deal.
Okay.
That discovery is considered one of the most significant silver discoveries in, recent history, let's say.
So they've got this guy.
And that's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
Is because he was working at Juanicipio with none other than Peter McGaw.
With Peter McGaw,
Peter McGaw.
The epithermal guru.
The epithermal guru.
I've read his research, yeah.
So he is an advisor to the company.
So they've got the expert on site as an advisor.
They've got the team. They've got the project.
And they've got the market.
It's pretty compelling.
It really is. So what's the catch?
Well, I mean, like I said, there's always risk in mining.
That's what we're saying.
Now, I think this is one of those companies that you really need to
do your own due diligence?
Exactly. Don't just take my word for it. Go and look at their presentation.
Make sure we link that in the show notes for everybody.
Yeah, take a look at it. See if this is something that, fits in with your investment thesis.
Yeah, because we're not giving financial advice here, but
exactly.
I mean, it seems like they've got all their ducks in a row.
They do, and that's what's so exciting is that, you don't often see this.
Right, all at the right time.
Where everything kind of comes together like this, but yeah.
Well, that's what we're here to do, right? Is to find these diamonds in the rough. Or I guess silver in the rough.
What's a good way to put it?
So hopefully this has been another exciting deep dive for everybody.
Yeah, hopefully everybody's learned a lot about Vizsla silver.
And until next time, happy investing, everybody.